everyone. So welcome to the February 28th Kubernetes Migration Working Group. I will kick off with a couple of things that we have done in the last few weeks. So first one is on the rate limiting Redis migration. So we're continuing to progress here. We've completed the required Redis upgrade. And we also have a migration plan that will enable hostname support for Sentinels. So both of these things are around enabling the hybrid deployment that we'll need as we go through to move everything over to Kubernetes. Are there any questions on any of that? No, great. So the other thing that's done last week, Mark, myself, Dylan met up to discuss the testing of Gitly on Kubernetes. And we've agreed that for now, the testing of well, we were talking about testing of Gitly service. I think Josh's comment of testing a single node Gitly service probably makes sense as the smallest piece. We discussed the fact that Gitly cluster may not be suitable or even wanted on Kubernetes, so we shouldn't focus on testing that right now. But hopefully this gives a bit of a path forwards for testing and for a migration. Great. Are there any questions around any of the testing? Like, do we need to give John any extra guidance, do you think, Tanya, or is that enough for now?
My question is that the way we use Gitly on GitLab.com?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, thank you.
I think this should probably be enough guidance for John.
Great.
Gotcha. I was looking for the what at the top of that issue, validating Gitly Kate's functionality and performance. I think the performance one is we're particularly interested in that on Kubernetes. Jason S. He just joined. He's got all sorts of context on what we've seen with Gitly on Kubernetes, but I know that's something that we're definitely wanting to understand. You know, what the workloads, how they impact the infrastructure and whatnot.
Great.
Jason, anything to add on that?
Not in superb detail. I mean, there's another case in point where we actually just have a customer that's trying to do extremely large CI workloads, and I've been working with them, not in Kubernetes, but they give it a perfect example of their users are fine, but when they load their CI pipelines, the load against Gitly and Prefect actually results in the entire application starting to slow down. So it's a particular case of we don't have clear dynamics of what the scaling patterns ought to be, so it's really hard to put it in Kubernetes.
Yeah, thanks for adding that. Are there any other things people want to talk about on the what's been done, on the topics raised there? Okay, so what's happening next? From the rate limiting Redis side, we are continuing to test our planned migration path. We are working to have as much sort of automated tooling and sort of understanding the observability as we can before we move over to pre. So that's still in progress. And Jason, do you want to verbalize your point?
Yeah, just want to let everybody know that distribution has scheduled the work related to the CDN configuration items into the 1410 milestone. It is low priority. For now, continue with the ENV settings as they are, and we will hope to get all of this done within 1410.
That's great. Thanks for that. Great. Any other items we want to talk about on what's happening next? No? Any blockers? No? Great. And then possibly related to our lack of blockers recently, I have a proposal that perhaps we consider reducing the frequency of this meeting. At the moment, we're focusing on the platform side on Redis migration, which seems to be a little bit less like dependent on other teams. And we also have the Gitly testing. It looks like we have a path forwards, and I think that's working fairly well async. So does anyone have any kind of thoughts on on moving this to monthly?
I'm +1 on this. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
I'll make the change on calendar.
Great, thanks for that. And I think, you know, if we go into migrating a service that's has more dependencies like web or API or things, we can always shift the frequency back up if needed, but it sounds good for now.
Cool.
Great, thanks a lot. Are there any other things that anybody would like to discuss today? No, in which case, thank you very much for joining, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.